Hey you guys, it's Kat on Point. Thanks so much for coming back again. It is Wednesday and that means it's a weigh-in Wednesday. So let's get right to it. What did we gain or lose this week? Hubby had to go to work. So I couldn't make him sit. He's running late as it is. We worked out together this morning in the gym, and so kind of ran him a little behind. All right, so let's not beat around the bush. He is down 0.2 this week. I'm so happy about that. I'm very proud of him. He's a little bummed because he's saying, I kind of pushed it this week and I kind of had a little too many snacks and I kind of should have made better choices on this and that. And I think it's still fabulous. It's all par for the course. He's still going great and it's still a downward trend. So that's awesome. But he says, in retrospect, he sees a lot of little things he could have done differently. And so it's a learning experience. And I'm just like, great, you're down. It's great. Celebrate. For me, I am down 0.6. So I'm down a half a pound this week. I couldn't be happier because, this isn't me, guys. I don't lose weight. I just, I maintain fabulously. I can gain even better, but losing, oh yeah, it's usually just non-existent for me. So seeing the last 5 weeks and the trend, how it's, from when I started, I dropped, and then I gained this big amount all at once. And then for the 5 weeks after that, lose. And so, and especially this week, this is probably the biggest one in the last few weeks. So I think I was down 0.2 last week, right? So now it's 0.6 and I'm just so ecstatic because I can't say I was apprehensive to get on the scale. I'm not nervous like I used to be because I know that I'm doing the right things, right? And my word of the year is patience. So I'm just going to be patient and give my body the time that it needs to figure this out. And just be real gentle with it and help it along as much as I possibly can. But I was, you know what I mean? You get up to the scale and you're like, these thoughts start hitting you. Is this going to be the week I plateau? Is this going to be the week that I gain those phantom 2 pounds and I don't know where it came from? What's this week going to be like? And you just have to push through. Got on the scale and I was, ended up being pleasantly surprised. So I'm so happy about that. I'm so glad I get to tell you all about it and you get to celebrate with me. I hope you had a wonderful week and tell me below, how did it go for you? When's your weigh-in day? When do you do that? Do you regroup at the end of the week and go, okay, what can I do differently? What can I keep doing the same that worked for me? I'll show you some of the choices that I made this week. I keep track of everything and I've noticed that I've been making different choices. The more whole foods I'm putting into my diet and leaning on those, it's I know that that's having a big difference in my gut bacteria because it changes the cravings. And that's another thing that I've learned is that the gut bacteria that you have and that you feed also affects the kind of cravings that you have. And if you look into it more and more, you find out that the good bugs that live in your gut that help you to lose weight actually do crave whole foods and the whole grain carbs like fruits and vegetables and whole grains and things like that. And they feel really good when you give them that because that's their food. The bad gut bugs that are responsible for weight gain are typically the ones that give you more of the sugary and fat cravings. And that's just what they've found. I have, you look into it, it's quite fascinating when you find out so much more about they're still finding out a lot about the gut microbiome and how much that has to do with not only our weight loss and everything in our body and our immune system, but also our brain and how we think as well. So it's really fascinating. But anyway, so I've noticed that my craving for junk foods, I guess, has really gone way down, and I really am starting to crave those whole foods. When I'm hungry, I'm looking for the oatmeal. Yesterday I was craving cauliflower, and it's like, wow, that's kind of weird, but okay, I'll go with it. It helps. It can only help, right? And so I'm really happy about that too. So I'm really trying whenever possible to make the whole food switch. And I did find these one things though, and I'll show you. Oh my goodness, they're so good. I was in TJ Maxx the other day and with honey, and we found these little rice cake snacks. They're called Drizzleicious. And it didn't look like any big deal. In fact, when we got it, I thought, oh, this is probably going to stink, and it's not going to be worth the money that I'm paying for it. It's only like $3 there for the bag. And you could get, I think it was like 21 of these little things for like 4 points. So I thought, well, if you can get 21 for 4 points, then you can get 10 for a lot less, right? And maybe 2 points. And I tried them, and I've only ever had like 4 or 5 of them at a time. It's usually after a meal. I will not eat a sweet snack in place of a meal if I'm hungry. The sweet snack always has to come at the end of having a Whole Foods meal, because otherwise I will eat too much of it. If I'm hungry, I should eat regular food, and then I'll top it off with something if I still want it. But it's, and so that's why I only end up having like 4 or 5, but they are so good, guys. They taste, they're birthday cake flavored, and they taste just like cupcakes. But it is so good, and they're made with like quinoa and flax or something and brown rice or something. It's really good. I just really this week have been really conscious about making the switch on stuff. If I want something, I'll find a way to replace it with some sort of Whole Foods or Low Point food or something like that. And I noticed that my meals are a little simpler this week. They're a lot cleaner, and our dinners are as well, even as a family. So anyway, we did go out on Friday evening, and hubby and I shared a buffet at on our date night, and we're really becoming, I think I want to say we're mastering what we do at the buffet. And if it's not absolutely fabulous, we won't even go back and get it. We won't go and put it on our plates. It's just not worth it. And that's one thing that I told hubby. What I do when I go buy clothes is that I use the same thing. If it's not absolutely fabulous, I will not wear it. I won't buy it, because I'm not going to spend money on it if it's not absolutely fabulous. So it has to, I really have to like it, if I'm going to buy the clothing. And I said, I kind of feel the same way, when I'm at the buffet or something. If it's not absolutely fabulous, I'm not going to wear it because I have to, that's what happens when you eat it, right? And so, so we're really, kind of being a little bit more picky there. And then Saturday evening, we went as a family, took the kids to get some burritos at one of our favorite Mexican restaurants. And so now what we used to do is and we counted the points during all of this. What we used to do is we would go get burritos, and then we might have donuts afterward, right? And that was a long time ago, and we don't do that anymore because that would be way too many points, way too much sugar, and way too off of our path. So we don't do that. And then Sunday, we just ate home all day. I'm not pushing it deeper right now because I'm still losing, and my strategy is that I'll keep doing what I'm doing now and inching my way down. And that's fine with me. I don't have to lose it all in 1 week. I mean, I'm fine with doing little bits at a time. I think it's healthier. I think it's more, I think it'll stay longer if I do it that way. If I stall, my plan is to let myself plateau when it plateaus and watch it for about 4 to 6 weeks, probably 6 weeks. And if I'm still stalled at 6 weeks, then I will dive deeper. then I will make, some more adjustments to my meals in order to get that going again. But right now, if I'm losing, I want to lose having as much as I can for the time being, so that I'll have somewhere to go and somewhere to cut when that doesn't work and that stalls out. And it's going to take a lot of patience, my word of the year, right? To wait through that stall and to have patience and go, give your body these 6 weeks. You made this, you made this deal with it. Right now I'm not stalled, so that's great. But my plan is when that happens, I'm going to be patient and I'm going to let my body figure it out. And then we'll readjust, right? So anyway, that's the plan. So I will show you some of the things that I had this week. Made the hubby and I some egg whites with 1 egg each in it, and the pumpkin oatmeal with pumpkin seeds and a little bit of grape nuts on top and a bunch of blackberries. And it's sweetened with a tablespoon of maple syrup. For breakfast this morning, I'm having half of a light Thomas's English muffin, multigrain, with a poached egg, some green tea, it's decaffeinated, and my Spa Day Bertram muesli, which I'm going to pour into a bowl and top with some of these blueberries. All right, today for lunch, I'm going to be having kind of like a whole foods bowl here. I've got about 3 ounces that I weighed here of chicken breast, even though it's free to me. I cook this chicken breast on the weekend in the Instapot and get it all done. Then I can just take it out as I use it. I cook the rice ahead of time. I steam the vegetables ahead of time. Then I've got some spinach ready. I'm only using a half a cup of rice, and then I'm adding it all in. I'm really trying to bulk it up with the vegetables, but this is really going to be a nice little hefty treat for me to eat. I'm going to add a couple of more things in here. I've got some pre-made pinto beans. I'm going to add 1/3 cup of that. So I put the spinach in underneath. I'm going to add in the aminos and half of a tablespoon of mayonnaise, and that's actually the only place where the bulk of my points are coming from. All right, I made a Caesar salad with this light creamy dressing. We pretty much like that for dinner, and the kids use these croutons here. These are from Sam's Club, but they're a little high for us. So hubby and I have just enough of these. I think if we use 3 of them, it's 0 points, and they taste and they feel exactly like croutons. So we use those on ours. And then we're going to be having a pork roast over there, and and then honey just walked in. My beans are not ready. We're not going to be having those tonight, but we have some roasted potatoes, new potatoes, and I steamed them and then I put them in the pan, and I just kind of like lightly sprayed them with Pam and put a Kinder's no butter, but butter flavored topping on it. And we are going to have some dessert, which is my sugar-free compote. It's just basically cooked down blueberries. I just add a little water to fresh blueberries, cook them down till they get nice and bubbly and thick, and then I add a little bit of stevia and a little bit of cornstarch to thicken it. And now that's cooled, and it's got light whipped topping on top, and then a couple of these reduced fat vanilla wafers are 1 point. So it's like a 2-point dessert.